Welcome to Making the Grade, the podcast for professionals and leadership teams who want strategy that turn into action. We are your hosts, Christine and Georgia. We specialize in designing systems that help people, operations, and goals work together. Each episode, we share real-world insights from the professionals and organizations we partner with, along with practical, brain-based strategies for decision-making, prioritization, and execution. Expect honest conversations, clear thinking, and tools from our framework you can actually use so you can lead with confidence, implement with intention, and build systems that support long-term success.
Hey everyone, welcome to season 4 of Making the Grade podcast. This is the first episode of the season, and tonight's guest is Catherine. She is a luxury travel advisor who specializes in honeymoons, destination weddings, and thoughtfully designed leisure travel experiences. Catherine's approach to travel planning was shaped by an early experience that showed her just how powerful the right trip can be. Not just beautiful, but seamless, intentional, and truly worth the investment. Today, she's known for her honest guidance, quality-first planning, and for recommending destinations and resorts she genuinely knows. No one-size-fits-all itineraries, no unnecessary upgrades, just travel designed with care and clarity. I'm so excited to have you here tonight, Catherine. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited.
That was a pretty amazing biography, but I can say, as one of your previous clients, that it's all true. Catherine planned my honeymoon, and she also planned one of my good friends' destination weddings recently. And so everyone I know who's worked with Catherine raves about her, including myself.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm really excited to get into everything you do for your job. And also, I guess I know you in a lot of ways. I know you as my travel agent. We met in college, actually, many,
Mhm.
many moons ago. We went to
Yep.
UMass Lowell. If anyone listening is from Massachusetts, maybe you went to UML too. And then also through coaching. So Catherine joined our executive function cohort last fall and just looking for some support getting organized. As you can maybe imagine, being a travel agent requires Catherine to wear quite a few hats,
Mhm.
and that can get a
Many.
little bit overwhelming.
Yep.
So yeah, so we were so excited when she wanted to learn a little bit more about executive function and how that could support her day to day when she's dealing with planning a million vacations. Before we get into all of that fun stuff, do you want to share something about yourself that maybe has nothing to do with travel, just something people may or may not know about you, but something fun?
I don't know. I feel like everyone knows me as travel. They all know me as Buns because of my Instagram. So it's hard to not identify with those two things. I mean, we were just talking, I love true crime. I
Okay.
listen to true crime all day. It's just on in the background. It's like the one thing that makes me focus on travel is listening to that on the side. Well, I ran a marathon in 2015. We were just talking about that. One of my colleagues ran the Run Disney Marathon. She finished,
Okay.
which brought up a lot of memories of my time 10 years ago. We'll do that again. We can cross that off.
I
Um,
forgot. I knew that you did that, but
yeah.
I've run a marathon too, and I feel the same exact way as you. Like one and done. I actually never need to run again in my whole life. Like that was it. Like
Yeah.
I
And
don't
that's
know.
actually funny because my Instagram, Buns on the Run, was initially created because I was a runner for travel. So it just kind of stuck through, like running the marathon, doing half marathons, 10Ks, 10 milers, all that. And then after that marathon, I was like, I'm good. But
Yeah.
just kept it. And then I guess my obsession of running turned into travel and it became Buns is like, where's Buns now? Buns on the Run is literally in another
Yes,
country. So
truly.
it kind of stuck. But like when people ask me where did buns come from, like technically I was a runner first.
I
So
love that. I forgot.
yeah.
That's so cool. And it's true, like what you just said, I feel like anytime I go on Instagram, I'm wondering where you are. Like I
Yeah.
wonder every time I see your story, I'm like, oh, she has a new story. Where is she going to be?
Yeah.
Or you have a new reel and I can't wait to watch it because your social media is just top tier. So we'll make sure to put your links here because everyone needs to go follow you because I mean, I actually don't know how you have the time or capacity or like ability to create the reels you make. They're really good.
I honestly I don't either. I just
And
think
you
I
do it all yourself, right? Like it's
yes.
all you.
Like
Yeah.
we just went on a cruise and we have a content creator too. And that was actually so much easier. I was like, I need this all the time because he
Yeah.
could be like, okay, let's go film this real quick. Let's do this. Or I'd be like, you have a second, and he could film it and shine the light and do all the things. So I need someone just to follow me around and do that because that was
Yeah.
so much easier. But I don't know, I just see like something and I'm like, oh, I can recreate that since I have so much content with travel. Then I'm like, oh, I have a clip for that. And it's just,
Yeah.
easy. But I also enjoy it. I think that's
Yeah.
like another thing we talked about with the executive functioning is like,
Mhm.
if you don't enjoy something, you're just not going to do it. And
Yes.
for a lot of people, that's social media. But for me, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I'd rather be trying to create a reel sometimes than
Yeah.
be on the phone with an airline or troubleshoot issues. So
It's almost like your creative outlet, like something fun for
yeah,
you to do throughout the day when you are having headaches, putting out fires and
yeah,
all of that. Maybe when you're on hold with an airline, you can work on a reel. I don't know.
exactly. That's what I did today. I was on hold
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I forgot I got to post this reel real quick.
Oh my gosh. And you already told me, but tell everyone how long you were on hold for today or how long you're on the phone for.
Well, 5 hours and then hung up. And then I had a client call. And then after that, I went back on the phone for like another hour, all for the same trip.
So
A
for
lot of
anyone who thinks
troubleshooting.
travel agents have it easy, they do not. This is a hard job. You work
Yeah.
really hard.
There's always something going wrong with an airline. Always. And that's usually why I'm calling for something is the airline issue.
Yeah. Well, tell us about how you got here. Did you always want to be a travel agent, or what led you to doing this really important hard work right now?
No, it's funny because I got a passport for a destination wedding in 2014 and then I was like, oh, okay, well, it's valid for 10 years, maybe I'll use it again. Never thought I would. And
Mhm.
then working 9 to 5, limited PTO, like travel was just never on my radar ever. And
Mhm.
then I worked at a job where I was making pretty good money that I was like, oh, well, if I can't get PTO, I don't care if I get paid. I'll just want to go. And I went to Aruba for the first time and fell in love and was like, wait a second, I like this travel stuff. Like I like experiencing new places and eating different foods and meeting new people and learning new cultures and all this
Mhm.
stuff. And it just kind of snowballed from there. And I've kind of bounced around in different jobs for a while after that. That was 2016, so 10 years ago. And then I was like, I want to become a therapist, like a mental health therapist, and went and got my master's at UMass Boston, did the whole thing. And then COVID hit. And my first year as a practicing, new therapist was 2020. And it just wasn't for me. I mean, it was like, I worked in trauma and addiction, which was my specialty, but I think adding a pandemic on top, I just didn't teach you that in school. So it was that extra layer of, oh my God, my aunt's in the hospital. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, my aunt's in the hospital. I don't know what to do either. And
It's
how
a
do you
lot.
provide therapy when there's so much unknown? At least with trauma and addiction, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. But with this, there wasn't. So it
Mhm.
just ended up being this, I can't believe I spent all this time trying to become a therapist and I don't like it. And I ended up going into private practice as a intake coordinator. So I was, in an office with other therapists. And I remember seeing Crystal posted, who owns Wanderlust Jet Setter, that she was looking for a part-time agent. And I was thinking, like, do you guys think I should do this? And they were like, you talk about travel all the time.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yes, go do it. And I knew her personally. I'd booked trips with her. I'd met her in Aruba in 2020, like right before the pandemic. And I was like, you know what? I'll throw my hat in the ring, see what happens. And she called me and she was like, do you want it? I know you travel. I know who you are. Do you want to try it out for a couple of months, see if you like it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I did that part-time. I did it part-time for 6 months. And I was like, no, I want to do this. And I went all in full-time and never looked back.
I love that. It sounds so like serendipitous that you're
Yeah.
like in this job you don't like and you just see this
Mhm.
post and it just gets kind of handed to you because Crystal obviously just had a good gut feeling about you and she was clearly
Mhm.
right about that.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yep.
that's
And I was
incredible.
like, that's it. I'm doing this full time. And
Yeah.
March of 2023 is when I was like, yep, that's it. And
Mhm.
I did it.
You're so brave because I feel like a lot of people would be like, oh, well, I got this degree and I hate it, but like it's a waste if I don't use it. But no, it's a waste if you spend your life doing something you hate.
Right. Right.
Um, but
Exactly.
it's still really scary to make a leap like that. And so
hmm
good for you for
Yeah.
like following your
Especially
intuition.
going into sales, I'm without a sales background. I mean, travel agents, I got to
Yeah.
be able to sell a destination or a resort. And I think actually
Yeah.
being a therapist is beneficial with sales because I think there's more of an active listener approach that if you're
Mhm.
like, no, I really want to go here and do this and do this. And I could be like, that actually sounds more like you want to go to Greece than Italy.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this option? And people are like, oh, you're right. I do kind
Yeah.
of want to do that. Or like really
Yeah.
listen, rather than just selling a destination or resort, it's, well, what do you want out of this vacation? I could give you a million options, but
Mhm.
if you're like, you know what I really want to do? It's my kids graduating from high school. They're going to be off to college. This might be our last family vacation altogether. We want to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, you want a really good family friendly resort. You want a room that can accommodate all of you. You hear those
Yeah.
other things. It's not just here's my budget, here's the destination we want, here are the dates. It's this is what
Yes.
I want to accomplish on this trip. So I
Yep.
think being a therapist does help in certain ways.
You're good at reading people, and people need that. I
Yeah.
think people need that. And then, like, for me, I'm a planner, right? And we'll get into like your executive function style in a minute, but like, I'm a planner, not just my executive function style, but just through and through. I love a plan. Like, I plan my days, like my daughter's days, like my husband's days. Like, I just love everything having a plan, to probably in an annoying way at some point. But when it comes to like something huge, like my honeymoon, like, coordinating the flights and like where are we going to stay, and is the restaurant actually close to the resort that we want to go to, and all of that stuff, like that is really overwhelming to me. Like
Yeah.
that's too much to plan. And so when a plan overwhelms me, I can spend too much time just talking about it and then eventually probably talking myself out of it. I think a lot of people miss out on travel opportunities and stuff, maybe because they're just like, it's too much work to plan it, whatever. So
Yep.
having someone like you who you can just give them your thoughts and have someone be able to read them and be like, you know what? I think this trip is for you. It's not for you. Here's my advice and let me plan it for you, is such a relief. It lets you truly
Mhm.
just enjoy your vacation from the get-go and not
Yep.
just when you get there even.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think
so,
when you're planning a trip, it's information overload. Like the
yeah,
average time it takes to plan a trip is 40 hours. When you think about that, that's a full week of work. Who has the time? Like if
yeah,
you're already juggling a full-time job or kids at
yeah,
home, pets, everything else, who has 40 hours to start planning? And then even if that's only an hour a day, by the time
right.
you're like, okay, I'm ready, things are sold out, pricing has changed, flights are different, that you're just like, oh, yeah, you talk yourself out of it. So if you just have someone that's like, this is what I recommend, I've been there,
Yeah,
or I've sent clients here, or I've read the 6 pages of review, so you don't have
yeah,
to. That way you have everything you want in one, and you just tell me what you like, what you
yeah.
don't like, and I'll modify it.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I feel like when we were planning our trip, I just was like, even when we get there, like, what are we gonna do? And so you're on the internet and it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
It's great to have so much information on there, but at the same time, it's information overload. And it's
Mhm.
just like, what reviews do you take with a grain of salt, which are real,
Right.
so you make a lot of people's lives easier. So
Yep.
thank you for that. But when you came to work with us, you wanted some help making your life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious a little to find out what their EF
Mhm.
style is. Do you remember what your style was when you worked with us and kind of what it said about you and how you plan and stuff like that?
Yes. I think I can pull it up. I think it's right on my desktop. I saw it earlier. I'm pretty sure it was a reflector.
Reflectors, I think that tracks for you because so we have four EF styles that we kind of group our clients into. There's a planner, a reflector, a reactor, and a connector. We won't get into all of them right now, but reflectors spend a lot of time reflecting, as the name
Yeah.
suggests, and everything you've kind of shared just now, that tracks for you. You have to spend a lot of time reflecting on past trips, past clients, past situations. That's all information that helps you like plan the next trip. That makes a lot of sense. Um,
I thought I was going to be more of the planner when
mm,
I first looked at it, but, like, as I'm reading it now, the reflector, like, okay, it's analytical, it's introspective, it's thoughtful, and I think my issue and why I came to you guys was the analysis by paralysis sometimes. I'm like, "Are they
okay.
gonna like this? I don't know if they're gonna like this," and then I end up spending too much time, and I'm like, "Maybe I should swap out that hotel. I don't think they're gonna like it," and because I want it to be, in my mind, perfect the first time around, so that there's minimal edits. But, I say to clients, and I have to listen to myself, that it's collaborative. So I want to know if you don't like it because I can swap something out. But in my head, I'm like, no, 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 it has to be perfect so that there's like very minimal edits and they're gonna want to book. And I
Mhm.
think having a system too where like learning how to, when I get sidetracked, get back to it because I could be laser focused on a European itinerary. And if I get sidetracked by an email, a text message, I might forget to come back to it. And then I come back and I'm like, oh, where was I? And then I've kind of lost it. And so that was that big one too.
That's hard. I mean, task switching is kind of what you're talking about. That's hard for
Mhm.
anyone. Never mind, like, I'm thinking about all the different things you do in a day. Like you said, like
Mhm.
calling an airline, like writing an itinerary, like, oh, a client called and I have to talk to them, or like an interested person called. I have to call and see if
Right.
they want the client. Like, that's so many different things that your brain is doing all day. And
Mhm.
it's not as easy as like, oh, well, I do this at this time and this at this time, because you never know when you're going to have to be on the phone for 5 hours with an airline and
Right.
everything derailed.
Exactly.
So, like, when we talk about executive function, we're talking about things like task initiation, organizing, planning, prioritizing, controlling your emotions.
Mhm.
Some people hear executive function, they don't even know what it means. So I like
Yeah.
to out of those are kind of a few of the main ones. Oh, flexible thinking is another one, working memory. Would you say that some of those are really big strengths of yours when it comes to your day-to-day planning travel for people, and some that you're working on, which fall into which category?
Yeah, I would say, I guess it kind of depends on the day too. Like if I have, and like the task that I'm doing, because like some things I can get off track and I'll go right back, or some things I can't. But I think the organizational stuff too was super helpful of like getting everything so I could see it. I think I'm more visual too. So that was really helpful. What were the other ones you mentioned? I can't remember
So even if you're not even thinking about what you did with us, but just like day
yeah.
to day, you feel like prioritizing what you need to do. Is that hard for you or easy for you?
A mix of both because I could have a clear structure of how I want the day to go and it could go completely south. I think that's the other thing is the task switching with that too is, like today I had a completely different plan and it didn't happen at all. Like
Right.
it just didn't. And like I have to also be okay with days that when that happens.
Yeah, that's the flexibility piece. Like, so
Yeah.
I feel like you must have really strong, flexible thinking and abilities to be able to be like, okay, the day has just went differently than I planned and I
Yeah.
have to. The other piece that you must be pretty good at is emotional control in order to deal with these
Yes.
challenging
Yep.
situations. I'm sure there's days when it's not as easy,
No.
but
Today was not an easy one. That's
yeah.
for sure. It was a lot of when I was on hold, a lot of voice notes to my team that of just venting of what I was going through. But I'm grateful that I have them because a lot of travel agents are kind of on their own island when it comes to things. And I'm grateful that I have a team that we can troubleshoot, vent, talk things through. And it was just like, okay, I'm at hour 3, still on the phone. I'm at hour 4, still on the phone. So it was nice to have that in the background. And thankfully I have that outlet with them that I can maybe emotionally dysregulate a bit.
No, that's necessary for sure. I think if you couldn't do that, like you wouldn't be able to do this job if you weren't
No,
able to.
no.
And I'm just thinking about not only are you planning other people's trips, but you also travel yourself quite a bit. So I
Mhm.
think really quick, you should tell everyone who's listening how many trips you went on last year in 2025, and also the challenge you completed in 2025.
Yeah,
Try to do like a quick
most
synopsis.
unhinged.
It's
Yeah.
wild. Like buckle up and listen to
Yeah.
this, people.
I don't remember actually how many flights I was on, but I know on my like app that I track my flights, I went around the world 3.6 times with the amount of miles that I did. But I did the JetBlue 25 for 25 challenge. And that was, you have to hit 25 unique airports in 6 months. So it was announced at the end of June, and you had until December 31st to hit 25 unique JetBlue airports that only count once. And you had to do the Blue Fare. And by December 1st, I was at 20 and thought, okay, I can't do another 5. Like I really can't do it. I did so much travel in November for work that the thought of getting on more flights, I was like, I really can't. The goal was if you hit the 20 airports, you get 350,000 JetBlue points. But if you hit 25, you get mosaic status for 25 years. So I was like, I got the points. That was my goal. I just wanted the points so that I can transfer them to Qatar Airways and I can go to Dubai and I can do all this stuff. So I hit that goal, but then it just kind of kept going in my brain that I have 5 more and I could
Mhm.
get mosaic status. And I was just kind of doing the math on how much I could save by hitting mosaic that I was like, I have to do it. So I did a marathon of flights and delays and cancellations and no sleep and red eye flights. And in 5 days, I took like 12 to 14 flights and hit it. And I'm traumatized.
I was following along on Instagram, like as if it was like a TV show. I'm like eating my popcorn. I'm like, where is
Literally.
her flight got delayed? Oh my God, how many is she
Yep.
at? Like, is she gonna do it? Like
Mhm.
Catherine would fly, we live in New England, so she would fly out of Boston Airport and like fly somewhere else, literally fly like home, and
Yeah.
then the next day fly somewhere else. It was wild. It was
Mhm.
crazy.
And some of the
Incredible.
same day. Like I was supposed to, before my flight got canceled, it was Boston to Cleveland, back to Boston, had a 3 hour layover, and then I was supposed to fly to Phoenix and then do the Phoenix red eye to Fort Lauderdale, and that got all unhinged. But like some of these flights, I'm just bouncing back and forth to the airports. So I kept routing through Fort Lauderdale, through Boston, because obviously the flight back doesn't count. So you have to kind of route through things. So yeah, the delays were the killer, though. That was the worst.
I would love to know how many people completed this challenge overall.
So I did ask. So when I completed it, JetBlue responded to my story. And so I just said, hey, like while you're in my DMs, how many people have completed this? And they said, as of December 1st, 900 people. So they anticipate more, but I haven't seen anything yet come out. But curious how many people actually completed it and how many completed it to do it and how many completed it versus like they just travel for work and they hit
Yeah,
it, you know?
right. Yeah, because I'm even surprised that number is that high. But also, I am just not, I don't travel a lot. And so the thought of doing it seems so out of reach to me that I can't believe that anyone did it. But,
Yeah,
but that makes sense. People do travel a lot. I think I would bet that you're one of the few people that was like, I'm going to do this just because I want to say I did it.
right.
And well, you got a lot of benefits too. It's not just you
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
brag. You should brag about it too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It was once I can get over the PTSD of those last 5, it will
Yes.
definitely be more brag worthy. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, after that, it was like, I still don't even want to get on a flight. Like, I don't
Yeah.
have travel until March and I'm okay with it. And usually every month I'm somewhere, but
Yeah.
I'm okay with waiting till March.
You needed a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I would love to know. Let's see. I'm trying to. We have a whole list of questions, but I'm trying to pick and choose the best ones. Do you have any habits or systems that you feel like make your life easier? Like everything you just talked about, whether it's for you or for someone else, like something, a system that you have for work, I guess, that
Mhm.
makes life easier for you. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just something that makes your day to day a little bit easier, even though it's really hard what you do.
Yeah, I think, well, one of the biggest things was the Trello board that I learned from you guys because I had never heard of Trello. And after doing the executive function like coaching, I was realizing like how redundant I was doing things of like sending the same type of emails, the same paragraphs, the same over and over and over. And I think with the task switching, it was like, all right, that's an easy one I can answer. Let me just answer that real quick. But then I would retype it all out. And instead, it's learning like, oh, I can just put it in a Trello board and be like, oh, they're asking me again how to get to Punta Cana. I can just copy and paste and put it in the email, and it saves me, even if it's just 5 minutes, it saves me 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that adds up over time.
Yeah. And I kind of noticed it too as I'm like, oh, I've already answered this before. And like I just would retype it and I was like, wait, no, let me just put it in one spot and I can copy and paste it. And it's like done. I don't have to think about it. So I thought that was huge of just the time savings with that.
I'm so happy that you were able to take something really useful from that. And for anyone who doesn't know, Trello is just like a project management system. You can do it on your laptop, on your phone. Trello, please sponsor us. We really need everybody. But it's really cool. You can use it for work, for personal stuff. It helped me plan my wedding. It's just very visually appealing and simple to
Mhm.
use things in places. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. I think everyone I know uses it a little bit differently, which is really cool. Great. I'm so glad that that's a good system for you. What about, do you have any, we call them brain hacks, but just like silly things that I feel like social media is full of you got to wake up at 5 a.m. and you got to go do an ice bath and you got to do this, like feel good about yourself and be successful and blah, blah, blah. And in reality, that's not realistic and it's not even what everyone likes. So, do you have a simple brain hack that makes you feel better day to day, which in turn, contributes to you being more successful at work?
I would say, like, which I don't even know if this is healthy or not, since usually I'm having coffee before I eat anything, but I like waking up early. And usually I wake up automatically, like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Usually my dogs are the alarm, but we'll get up around that time. And I just love having slow mornings. Instead of feeling like rushed to like go do something, I can make my coffee, I can let the dogs out, feed them. And I love it in the summer because then I can just go and have my coffee on our deck and just like kind of ease into the day rather than being like, oh, I got to wake up early and go to this fitness class and then come back and make breakfast and I got to get to my office and do this and that. And I just like having that, which is I've always been go go go. And now I
Yeah.
feel like having this kind of like slower pace. I might kind of look at my emails and be like, all right, there's nothing emergent that I need to go and respond to. That I'm like, all right, I can just
Yeah.
ease into it rather than like feel like I'm just
Yeah.
robotic throughout the day.
I love that because everything you've told us today, like you never know how your day's going to go. You never know what fire's going to have to put up, what's going to happen. So the fact that you give yourself that time every morning, it's like a guaranteed you time, a reset,
Mhm.
quiet time. No matter what happens the rest of the day, at least you like gave that to yourself in the morning. And I love that. I think everyone needs to slow down. I think we could benefit from that for sure. But I think that that's amazing that you do that for yourself because I think it's hard. It's hard to slow down. We always feel like we need to be
Oh, yeah.
productive and go, go, go and work
Mhm.
out. And I have a friend who's always like, "Oh, I'm so mad at myself. I slept in instead of like going to the gym." And I'm like, "You needed the sleep. Like,
Yeah.
that's okay. Like,
Yep.
we don't, again, social media shows us got to always do things and
Mhm.
the best. And I love that you have that little morning routine for yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it took a while because I was never like that person. I was the person that was like, "Oh my god, I slept in. Now my day is ruined because I didn't go to the gym and I didn't do this or didn't do that." And it took a long time to not feel that way.
I love that. On that note, what advice would you give to maybe other business owners, entrepreneurs, people in similar fields as you, meaning, they have to do in order to make money and have a
Mhm.
successful business? What advice would you give to people who are feeling overwhelmed with that lifestyle and how they could maybe make some changes?
Yeah, I think having a system or like kind of for me, it was obviously working with you guys, but trying to figure out like everyone is different when it comes to things. Like it's funny for me, like I only book trips on my laptop. That's a laptop activity. Whereas other agents will book it on their phone. And I'm like, my brain cannot compute that. I could not book a client like flight on the phone. It's like a laptop activity. So it's like kind of hacking your brain to see like what works for you because just because something works for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And I think we get caught up in that of like maybe I should be doing it that way, but it doesn't work for you. And finding way I wouldn't say shortcuts because that's the wrong term, but ways that will make your day easier. Like for me, it was the Trello board and being like, okay, I can copy and paste, and then I don't feel like I'm sending another email. It's the same thing I just sent, and but I can do it so quickly and save time and focus on something else. So I think it's learning how your brain reacts to the job and adapting that way, and like taking a step back and realizing like what you need to make your day more productive without feeling like you're going to be stressed out.
I love that. And it's like kind of like you said, small changes. You don't have to
Mhm.
drastically change your life, but just finding a small system that actually works really well with you and your lifestyle and implementing it can
Yeah.
just save you, again, 5 minutes here and there. It's going to add up over time and make a big difference. And then you find another system that saves you more time. And
Hmm.
uh, when we started our podcast a few years ago, yeah, this is season 4, which is crazy, but it was called Making the Grade. And our whole theme was talking to people about what success looks like to them and how it changes over time and for not only them, but compared to others. And I love
Hmm.
how you kind of reference that success looks different for everybody because we're all different. And so try not to compare, which is so hard
Hmm.
because social media. But just like anything, our habits and routines are very unique to us. And so what works for one person might not work for someone else, and that's
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah, I think we get hung up on that a lot. I used to get hung up on that. Like, why
Yeah.
can't I do those things? But it just doesn't work. Like what I do for my job might not work for someone else, and that's all
Right.
right. Like
Yeah.
I'm still doing okay and you're still doing okay. We're just doing it very differently. And like my brain can't do that. Like I have to do everything on my laptop. Otherwise I don't know what I'm doing. And
Yeah.
whereas someone else could be, no, I use my phone for everything. And I'm just like, what?
Gosh. I'm the same as you, and I know a very successful realtor who doesn't have a laptop. He does everything on
That
his phone.
stresses me out. And that's okay. That's you do you. But to me, I'm like, no, I couldn't do that. I could not do that.
One other question related to laptops. Are you a person that keeps all your tabs open or
Yes.
do
Until my laptop is like, we're going to shut down if you don't close something. Cause the problem is like especially when I'm planning like a European trip, it's like I'm looking at like, especially if you're bouncing around, going to other cities, I've got
Yeah.
like all these tabs. Okay, for Athens, I'm looking at 4 different hotels. Then oh, you want to go to Santorini? Now I'm looking at 4 other hotels. And then you want to go, to another island. Then I've got the ferries up. Then I'm looking at the flight. So then it ends up like
Mhm.
just tabs.
I don't travel plan, but I always have a million tabs and it
Mhm.
somehow makes me feel good to know that like it's all there. Like I don't have to
Yeah.
like it's kind of counterintuitive, but I'm like I don't have to go
Mhm.
find it. I know it's already there waiting for me. I don't know.
Right. No, I'm the same way because I'm like, once I'm done planning something, I'm like, I should just keep these up and just minimize it. In
Yeah.
case you're like, okay, we're ready to book. Okay, they're already up. So then I can just go do it. But that never happens. So I should just close them out and then I can go and do it again.
No, but hey, whatever. If it makes you feel
Yeah.
somehow, then keep doing it.
Yeah.
That just brought me back when you were talking about Athens and Santorini's. That's where I went on my honeymoon. That's what Catherine planned. So as we wrap up, I just want to tell everyone, like, definitely call Catherine, no matter where you're going. I like also, side note, I called Catherine like a month before I wanted to go on this honeymoon. I was not, we kind of, my husband and I both realized we had a little time off from work and we're like, it's kind of last minute. We did our honeymoon way after we got married. And I'm like, let me just call Catherine. You never know. And she put it together. We flew to Athens. We went to a couple islands. She planned everything, the ferries, like all that stuff would have stressed me out so much. Like, is it the right ferry? Is it the right time?
Mhm.
Like, you took care of everything to the point where you would text me and be like, hey, I just checked you in for your ferry tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. You have to go. The driver will be there at this time. Like,
Yep.
you just take care of everything. So I cannot recommend you enough to anyone who's thinking of it. And just so everyone knows, you don't have to pay Catherine a dime. Like, it's
Yeah,
a
that's
complete free
true.
service, which I think a lot of people maybe don't realize. So it's truly a no-brainer, in my
Yeah.
opinion, for with you.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell people is, I mean, there
Yeah,
are some travel agents that charge fees, and sometimes we'll do the non-refundable deposits especially if the trip is coming up soon, because I got to
yeah,
stop what I'm doing and do
fair.
this quickly. But in terms of a fee, we don't charge anything. So it's you get us planning your trip. And if on call, God forbid something goes wrong, like I just
Right.
had clients lose their passports in Switzerland and I had to call the embassy, make appointments. They needed to get emergency passports, got to find their passports. So it's like, no one ever thinks of anything going wrong because why would you? Because you're just excited for a vacation. But it's always nice to have someone back home in your back pocket to make those phone calls, to troubleshoot things just in case. And, it's not just, oh, I planned your trip, goodbye. It's you have someone that you can
Yeah.
reach out to.
So much peace of mind just in
Mhm.
case anything goes wrong. It's
Yeah. We
just,
don't want anything to go wrong, but just in
no.
case, it's like, do you want to
Yeah.
be making international phone calls when you're overseas when I'm at a desk all day and I could just, yeah, I
Right.
can sit on hold, go enjoy your honeymoon.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
It's a dream, truly.
Mhm.
Everyone who's missing out, who's not making use of this.
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to book a trip with you?
So you can find me on Instagram, at buns underscore on the underscore run. I hate that I have to have underscores, but buns on the run by itself is taken. Or you can contact me through our website, wanderlustjetsetter.com.
Awesome. And we'll put those in the show notes. Thank you so much, Catherine. This was really fun. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoys this episode. And Catherine, what's your favorite true crime podcast? We'll leave everyone with that
Oh,
too.
oh my God, I have so many. So right now it's Seriously by Annie Elise. That's
I've heard.
probably my favorite one. I love the way she tells the stories too, because she's very personable in her true crime telling. I also love True Crime Garage. Two guys out of their garage that drink beer and talk true crime. Love that.
Oh, I've never heard of
They have a 6-parter on John Bonet that will blow your mind.
it. Okay.
And it has completely changed my perspective on that case just by listening to them. And also, I listen to True Crime Obsessed. They kind of annoy me, but it's more of a comedy-based one, so I like
Okay.
that for the ease the tension of the true crime. But I would say those 3 are my top. Oh, and Law& Order, That's Messed Up, a Law& Order SVU podcast. They're funny.
Perfect. If you want your executive function, your small business podcast, this is where you're at. But now you all know where to go for your true crime.
For also true crime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Catherine, so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Making the Grade. We partner with leaders and organizations to build systems that support clarity, alignment, and meaningful progress. And every episode reflects that work in action. We're glad you're here, and we're just getting started.